Have you ever found yourself grabbing a product off the shelf without really knowing why? Or maybe you've clicked buy now on something you didn't even plan to purchase. You might think it's just a spur-of-the-moment decision, but what if I told you that brands are using science? Yes, science, to influence your choices in ways you can't even detect. Welcome to the Dark Art of Neuromarketing, where we pull back the curtain on how brands hack your brain. Today, we're diving deep into the world of neuromarketing, how companies are tapping into your subconscious to make you want what they're selling, whether you need it or not. Now, before we get into the nitty-gritty, let's get one thing straight. Neuromarketing isn't some futuristic sci-fi concept. It's happening right now, all around us. Every time you scroll through Instagram, walk through a grocery store, or even watch your favorite show on Netflix, brands are using subtle cues to guide your decisions. And here's the kicker. Most of the time, you don't even notice it. But don't worry. We're not here to freak you out. We're here to help you understand how it works so that you can make more informed choices. Because once you know what's going on behind the scenes, you start to see the world a little differently. I'm Christina Moy, and welcome to the Digipalms podcast. Joining me today is Kenny Martiny, who's going to break down how neuromarketing works and why it's so powerful. But first, let me ask you this. Have you ever wondered why certain ads just stick with you? Why some logos feel more trustworthy than others? Well, let's find out. Kenny Martiny.
Welcome back to our listeners. Let's dive in. Neuromarketing is all about understanding how our brains react to different stimuli, colors, sounds, images, and using that information to craft marketing strategies that hit us right where it counts, our emotions. And trust me when I say this, it works because our brains are wired to respond in ways we don't always control. Let's take a real-life example. Have you ever noticed how fast food chains like McDonald's and KFC use red and yellow in their branding? It's not just because those colors look good together. Red triggers excitement and hunger, while yellow creates feelings of warmth and happiness. Put them together and boom, you've got a recipe for making people crave food. It's no accident that these brands have been using this color combo for decades. But it goes deeper than just colors. Neuromarketing taps into your senses in ways that go beyond what meets the eye or ear. Think about those catchy jingles or sound logos that play at the end of commercials. You know the ones, the Intel Bong or Netflix's Ta Dum. These sounds are engineered to stick in your brain like glue because they trigger emotional responses tied to memory and recognition. And here's where things get really interesting. Brands aren't just guessing at what works. They're using tools like EEGs, electroencephalograms, and fMRI scans to monitor brain activity while people watch ads or interact with products. They can actually see which parts of your brain light up when you're excited or when you're feeling trust towards a brand. It sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie, but it's real, and it's happening right now. One of my favorite examples is Coca-Cola versus Pepsi. You've probably heard about the famous blind taste test where people often prefer Pepsi when they don't know which brand they're drinking. But here's the twist. When people do know they're drinking Coke, their brains light up in areas associated with positive memories and emotions. That brand loyalty is so deeply ingrained that even if Pepsi tastes better in the moment, people still feel better about Coke. So what does this mean for us as consumers? Well, it means we need to be more aware of how much influence these subtle cues have over our decisions. Brands aren't just selling products, they're selling experiences and emotions, and they're doing it by tapping into our subconscious minds. But don't get me wrong, neuromarketing isn't all bad. In fact, when used ethically, it can actually enhance our experiences as consumers. For example, companies can use neuromarketing data to create more personalized ads that resonate with us on a deeper level. Ads that actually speak to our needs instead of bombarding us with irrelevant information. And think about user experience design, like when you're navigating a website or app that just feels intuitive and easy to use. That's no accident either. Brands use neuromarketing principles to design interfaces that align with how our brains naturally process information, making things feel smoother and more enjoyable for us. So here's my challenge for you. Next time you're shopping online or watching TV, take a moment to step back and ask yourself, what's really influencing my decision? Is it the product itself, or is there something deeper at play? The more aware we become as consumers, the better equipped we are to make choices that truly reflect our needs, not just what brands want us to buy. And if you're running a business yourself, or managing marketing for one, think about how neuromarketing could work for you. How can you use these insights ethically to create stronger connections with your audience? If you're curious about diving deeper into this world and learning how to apply these techniques effectively without crossing any ethical lines, well, that's where we come in at the DigiPalms. We specialize in helping businesses leverage these powerful tools responsibly to create marketing campaigns that not only drive results, but also build trust with your audience over time.
Oh my God, what she's saying.
Thanks so much for joining us today on the Dark Art of Neuromarketing. Hopefully, we've given you some food for thought and maybe even made you rethink some of those impulse buys. If you enjoyed today's episode or learned something new, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on future episodes where we dive even deeper into the fascinating world of marketing psychology. And remember, knowledge is power. The more we understand how brands influence us, the better decisions we can make as consumers and as marketers. I'm Christina Moy, and until next time, stay curious.
I told him I'm next, shit.